Hello, everyone. We're so pleased to have with us this afternoon the host of the #1 late-night talk show in America, and he is the one and only, shall I say, Curious George?
Curious George, that was a little monkey, but you know, that could be me. Cheryl, 521 radio stations
It's
now in
incredible,
North America,
incredible.
and it keeps growing and growing.
Did you
and growing.
ever, in your wildest imagination, George, think that it would become what it has become?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, I went to school. I was going to be a dentist. So I went to
Really?
pre-dent for 2 years. My love was always broadcasting since I was a little boy. Science and broadcasting and the unusual. How fascinating that I would end up doing that later on in life. But that's what I was going to be, a dentist. My dad said, our family, they're all full of dentists, so George, you should do this too. And I'm paying for most of your college. And this was back in 1968. So I said, okay, Dad. I did 2 years of pre-dental school. And finally, a friend of mine was working as an intern at an ABC television station. And he said, why don't you fill in for me part-time? I got to go to Cleveland for Christmas. And I did, and I loved it. And I switched my major. And my dad didn't talk to me for 2 months.
Well, he must have eventually become very proud of you.
Absolutely. At 19, he saw my name credited on a TV station newscast, and he looked at it and said, is that the same you? And I went, yeah, that's me, and that was it. That's all it took.
And you worked as a television news director, and at one point, you were the youngest news director in the country.
I was,
Awesome.
28 years old, for a major market.
28.
Unheard of at the time.
So many things you cover on Coast to Coast that are simply not reported on mainstream news. You and I both know that, having been there. So how do you handle that responsibility? It's a big responsibility to carry around, but yet you're now armed with all of this new information in a very changing world, which has personal feelings for all of us. So how do you deal with all of that?
Cheryl, I have not changed since I started broadcasting back in 1969, at all. I have always been out to find the truth, to get the stories out into the public, and let them make up their own mind. What's happening now at Coast to Coast is because it is so vast, so big, that the stories that used to take me months and months and months to find and unravel and uncover are coming to me with little private emails or quick phone calls from people that say, hey, did you know about this? Did you know about that?
Well, do you have any secrets in terms of how you handle your celebrity when you're out of the pressure cooker of the show and the timeline and the deadlines and the intense topics that people are just, they wait for George Noory to come on late night, and you've made a nation of insomniacs, going around here. But along with that, you have to at some point, on a personal level, unwind and walk away and have some time for yourself and your family. Do you have any secrets in terms of how you deal with that?
I'm generally pretty private in my personal life, but I have grown to understand that this is an awesome responsibility for this job. A couple months ago, when I was going to Los Angeles from St. Louis, and I go back and forth quite a bit, I had gotten through the security line, and I'm sitting waiting for my plane to board, and I'm reading a book, and my head's down, and all of a sudden I see these shoes all around me on the floor. And I look up, and there are all these TSA guys all around me. I was born in Detroit, but my heritage is Middle Eastern. And my dad was born in Cairo. My mother's family was born in the Middle East. I'm 100% Arabic of Christian descent. I am Middle Eastern, and I look Middle Eastern. So I look up at all these TSA guys looking at me going, oh, here I go again, because believe me, it's been an issue. And all these people at the airport have now stopped. You could hear a pin drop, and they're all looking, and they say, would you sign this and give us your autograph, please?
Oh, my goodness.
But that happens a lot. But I think what I've done is I've just basically accepted who I am because of the show, and I go on my merry way.
Let's do some one-word associations.
Sure.
Well, maybe a couple of words.
All right.
New World Order, that's 3.
Control. They want to control all of us. They're bored. They have everything they want. They've got the money, the power, but they don't have our hearts and souls yet, and that's their next game.
What about big pharma versus natural health?
I'm a
remedies?
huge booster of alternative medicine. I love mainstream medicine. I think there's some great doctors out there who care about people, and far be it for me to tell you not to take your prescription drug, but I think there's a better way for you to try to heal yourself and take care of yourself first and foremost. And then if you need a pharmaceutical, go ahead. But what bothers me is most of the big pharmaceutical companies are in bed with the FDA. A lot of the attorneys who are working at major corporations now were once part of the FDA, or vice versa. And to me, that just smacks of too much cronyism.
Well, we thank you so much for being here. It's been such a delight.
My pleasure.
I've been so honored to share some time with you here, and we just hope that the future of Coast just keeps getting better and better and better.
We're going for 600 stations.
Yes, let's go there. Thank you.